everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
Today we're taking a look at a game called Faraway, which is you're going to a continent far away, blah, 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 blah.
That's the theme, yes. The theme is far away, and you're walking towards it. You don't really make it there, but that's the idea.
Here's the thing. This is an 8-card game, right? You're playing 8 cards over the course of this game.
Yes.
Mate, with some extra bonus cards. And that's it. And then you score it.
Backwards.
What? I can't explain such things. Only Z can, so here he is.
Don't try. In this game, the players are trying to have the highest victory points possible, and they're going to do that over 8 rounds by drafting cards, playing out cards from this side, moving over to their right until they've played out all 8, and then they are going to score. Sometimes as they play these cards out, they're also going to acquire these smaller cards down here. Now, I'm going to explain scoring first because it's the strangest, sort of quirkiest part of the game, and then I'll explain the actual drafting and how that all goes. Once every player is done and they have all these 8 cards in front of them, they flip them all face down as they already are here. They leave these face up. And then from the newest one, meaning the last one they played, the most recent one, they're going to reveal just that card and see if that card scores. Okay? So let me explain card anatomy really quickly here. This number up here is, there's a distinct number on every card in the deck, and it is going to affect if you get to draw some of these cards when you play it. It also denotes when you get to draft your new card at the end of every one of these 8 rounds. We'll come back to that. This over here is a resource you have available to you. This down here is a scoring opportunity, in this case, 13 victory points. But you do not get this unless you qualify for it with the prerequisite up here. So in this case, we flip over just this card and we check, do I have this prerequisite on everything that's face up? And these, like I said, are always face up. So yes, I do, because I have this one here, I have this one here, and I have this one here. If there's one of these I did not have, then I do not qualify for that. I only have 2 of those things. And we would go to the next one, working backwards, flipping that over and checking. Now this one here would have worked for that, but I've already moved past it, and so you score this chronologically backwards. We check if I have this condition. I do not have these 2 thistles, so I do not get the scoring opportunity of 4 points for every red card, which would have counted, well, just this red card here. We move backwards again. Now we go to this one. This one requires these 2 symbols, which I certainly have, one there and one there, for example. And every yellow card and every green card gets me 2 points, 2, 4, 6 points. We keep going backwards. This one here, for every nighttime card, I get 3 victory points. These are all daytime. This one's nighttime, so that's 3 victory points. And so on, moving backwards, scoring these things, 1 point for every map. There's one there, and that's it. If we take the card I removed a while earlier and put it back, it also had a map on there, okay? So I would score that map for 1 point as well, and so on, with some of them having very high prerequisites and a lot of victory points. Obviously, this card early in the game, not as good. I want this card later, because I'm doing this correctly. I want this card early, played early, so that I have all of this time to get the scoring conditions on it, okay? Because you reveal everything backwards. Now, one thing I want to explain is once you've done all these backwards, then if there's any scoring on these, you'll score that, so they come after your lineup. And like I said, they always stay face up even when you're scoring. So that's the idea of how you score things. Let's go ahead and back all this up to the beginning of a game and explain how you play. So let's say I'm playing with 3 players. Everybody has a hand of 3 cards always, no matter the player count. You deal that out. Then we are going to, for the first round preparation, deal out, face up a number of cards equal to the number of players plus 1. So in this case, 4 cards there. And then every player is going to simultaneously select a card from their hand. We are going to reveal those cards and add them to our lineup. Obviously, the first card just goes in the first position. This player has a line that's going to go that way. This player has a line that's going to go that way, so I'll put it there. Something like that. Then we are going to, based on the number from lowest to highest, we are going to gain one of these from the center and add them to our hand to bring our hand back up to 3 cards. I played the lowest number at 21. Let's say I want this one. 24 takes that. 37 over here is going to take that. This is discarded. We get ready for the next round by once again revealing 4 cards, and once again everyone picking a card. This time though, I'll go ahead and select theirs randomly here. Doesn't really matter. Everybody reveals them. They add the cards, and we are going to check for one more thing. In this case, everybody is going to check if the new number is higher than the previous number. And in fact, I'm just going to pull a fast one here just to explain something, okay? Let's say this is what we did. If your new number is higher than your previous number, you're going to get one of these cards and add it face up to your display, like you saw in my scoring overview. So everybody actually is doing that. If this player over here had played that, the 24 first, then the 23, they do not get one, right? So none for that player. This player is going to get one, so they'll take one. But if you have any maps, then you are going to draw one for every map, plus the one you would normally get, so one more than the number of maps. And then from those, you keep one. So I get to see these two, and I might keep, I might say, okay, I'm going to keep this one. It's a green card, counts as a green, and it also gives me another map, so I would also have that one. Discard the other. This opponent would get their own, and so on. And then again, based on the numbers of the new cards, we draft new cards from the center. And that's it. So the maps let you look at more of these. You still only keep one. And going up in number, that's when you actually get them. If I play lower than 67 next, I do not get any of these for that round. Play 8 rounds, flip them all face down, work backwards through your scoring, and you have a score pad to help you out with that right here. If you have the highest score at the end of the game, at the end of those 8 rounds, then you are the winner of Faraway.
So coming in on it, I laugh about this game because this game is in a category of games. Mamma Mia is a similar game.
Sure, yeah.
Where when I teach people, I'm like, you know what? Never mind. I'm just going to score for you.
Yes.
And then we'll explain the game, because that working backwards is an awesome part of the game.
Yeah.
But it takes a bit for your mind to, you have to like kind of shift gears a bit.
And I like that it seems really gimmicky when you're explaining it to people. They're like, okay, sure. Got it. Flip them face down, then yeah, okay. And then they start playing, and you can see it kind of dawning on them where they're going, oh, I see why. And you'll still, even if they really do click with the scoring concept, they're still going to be at the end going, oh, but I meant to do all right, well, that's fine. It will happen every time, right? That first game, it's going to happen to you. I love that. I love that it's not a gimmick for gimmick's sake. It is an interesting aspect of the game. Every one of those 8 rounds you're drafting a card, you are thinking about what you've done already and what you need to do from this point on to score this thing. And I really like the way that works out.
Now, it's possible to have like an amazing game.
Sure.
And it's possible to have a game that's not amazing, although sometimes that's on you because you'll start with a big card. There's cards that are worth like 20 points, but you got to
do that.
And you got to play them first and then get a bunch of stuff out there.
Yeah.
And so because of that, I think it's fair to say there's a decent amount of luck in the game. I mean, I like the game. And you're making a lot of meaningful choices, but there's luck in the game, and I definitely can get annoyed if I don't get the thing I'm looking for.
I agree. I agree that there's luck. It's also a 20-minute game. It's like, a quick playing. I mean, literally, it's 8 rounds. You play a card, draft a new one. That's 1/8 of the game. It is very quick. They say 25 on there.
Yeah.
That's about right. 25, 20 minutes when you know how to play. It is really, really quick. So, yes, there is luck. It doesn't bother me in this one as much. And I'll even go farther. And I'm going to give this game a high score, but I'll even go farther and say that I don't think anything in this game outside of that scoring idea is original whatsoever. It's a very by the numbers. The cards give you the scoring condition and the triggers for scoring. We've seen this since like Reef came out. And that, I mean, not since Reef, but like that's an obvious one.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean? Like
I
this
can
is
see
not
that.
novel. There's nothing here that feels particularly novel. And yet, the combination of how quickly it plays, how good it looks, I think, and that one clever twist makes for a good package.
Now, I just noticed, I didn't know this game went to 6 players. I've not played with 5 or 6. I've played with 2, 3, and 4. And it's such a good 2-player game.
Yes.
It really goes back and forth. I don't mind it with other players. You're drafting, but you don't really care about them. In a 2-player game, you think about what the other player wants. You really do. You'll sit there and go, I'll take this card, and I got to be careful. I don't want to give you that because I can look and easily see what symbols you're looking for.
Right.
And I like that about the game. That makes it a little mean.
It makes it a little luckier also because there are fewer cards from which to draft.
Sure.
If you play with 3, if you play with 4, there are more cards flopped on the table. So if you play a low number, then I think it's low first, I forget. You get a card from a wider spread, from more cards. So the luck factor will feel stronger if you're playing with fewer people. Yeah, probably the sweet spot for me is 3 or 4. I think it works well with 3 or 4.
But, yeah, you're right, though. But I told Z, I like this game.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, my rating now is an 8 out of 10. I think it's very fun.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some games where I'm like ready to throw the cards across the room.
Yeah.
Because
it
I
doesn't
just
work.
didn't finish my stuff. And we turn over the last cards. I'm like, fine. There's nothing out here I want. I'm going to play a high number than my last one, so I'm going to draw 4 bonus cards. I'm sure I'll get that symbol I need. It does not show up. And you're like... And I've had games in this, I think, where I've scored like 5 points. Maybe not 5, but I've scored very low because I was banking on a few cards. I put a few cards at the beginning that were going to score a lot of points that all needed the same resource. And I get combos. And then I didn't get enough of that resource out. And it would have been great.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that again. I mean, I'm mad like for a very brief amount of time. You're like, ah! All right, let's play again. You know?
Yeah.
And that's the feeling this game has is that I don't know that I've ever played this. No, I have played it just once. But I almost always want to play it twice.
Yeah, I
because
agree.
after that first
so
game, I'm
fast.
like, let's... Even if it's not me, I've usually taught someone new the game. I'm like, let's try it again.
And now they know how to score, too, and they know what they're looking for. I love the little cards also. I think that is such an important part of the game.
Yeah.
Because they stay face up. They give you just a couple of things. Oh, a little scoring symbol. Hey, the card is green. Hey, it's a map. Whatever they do. I love that. And I love that some players, you can tell they love it because around the table some people are like, well, I'm not doing so good in what my scoring is, but I got 4 maps. Every time I play one of those cards, give me 5 cards. And they can pick whichever one they want. And yeah, that's a really fun part of the game that fights that look, actually. You know, for me, I'm coming in a little bit higher than you even. I'm giving it an 8.5. The reason I'm not going even higher is because, like I said, I think the rest of the game, the general principle here is actually fairly pedestrian. This idea of the scoring with some trigger, you have to satisfy that, and then some other symbol at the top that lets you satisfy other scoring. It's been done, ad nauseum. But this combination of elements really comes together well for me. I don't know which one part it is, but all of it together. The speed, the look, the simplicity, the funky scoring, those little cards that stay face up the whole time. I love all this mix. So for me, Faraway gets an 8.5. I really, really like it. This is one that's going to be hitting the table all the time just because it's so fast.
Yep. Well, there you go, folks. That's Faraway. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
We'll see you.
Bye. Faraway.